In other news this morning, there are hopeful signs from the Middle East as the war in Gaza now hits 6 months of fighting.
The Israeli military withdrew ground troops from southern Gaza on Sunday. More than 33,000 people in Gaza and more than 1,700 in Israel have been killed since Hamas launched its attack last October 7th. It's unclear how the withdrawal will affect the planned ground offensive into Rafah, where more than 1 million Palestinians have sought refuge from the fighting. Israel continues to face intense international criticism over casualties among civilian and aid workers.
White House correspondent Serena Marshall joins us now. Serena, diplomatic efforts continued into this weekend. How are they going?
Yeah, the Biden administration reportedly upping the pressure. He is very hopeful to get a hostage deal. However, it still is unclear exactly how successful those diplomatic talks this weekend in Cairo were. Now, a White House official tells us that they have no update at this point. However, according to state Egypt media, an Egyptian official told them there was significant process. However, Israeli media is reporting that Hamas has told them there was no progress. So we're still waiting on the White House and the administration's official reply to how those talks went, sending CIA Director Bill Burns to the table this week. It included delegations also from Egypt and Qatar, and as well as Israel and Hamas teams arriving on Sunday. According to the AP on Friday, President Biden sent letters to the leaders of Qatar and Egypt calling on them to push Hamas for a deal, but those talks preempting a withdrawal of ground forces in the southern city of Gaza by Israeli forces. Now, the officials are calling that simply a regrouping, and that's something that was even echoed by White House National Security Advisor and Communications Advisor John Kirby this weekend. He said that their understanding it's a rest and refit, not a full withdrawal, and reiterated the United States position that any ground invasion in Rafah they are against, while also pushing for more significant changes when it comes to humanitarian aid in Gaza.
There's going to have to be some changes to the way the Israeli Defense Forces are prosecuting these operations in Gaza to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And some of the changes we talked about, certainly more humanitarian aid and assistance getting in, but just as critically, Martha, there's got to be changes in the deconfliction process.
Now, Kirby also said over the weekend on those Sunday shows that they are in discussions with their Israeli counterparts to reschedule that in-person meeting to talk about alternatives to a ground invasion in Rafah. That went virtual last week. They still want to see that happen in person.